Hello there. Today's date is January 20th, 2025. This is a video tutorial for Knights of the Old Republic 1, any percent unrestricted version 10.1. This tutorial assumes that you've done some degree of Star Wars speedrunning, or that is Kotor speedrunning in the past, and that you have a general familiarity about how the game works, and if you've already done setup and other things similar to that. This tutorial will not be covering any sort of getting started tutorials or setup tutorials. If you're looking for that sort of thing, please check our guides website at kotor-speedruns.github.io, where we have getting started guides for both of these games. So this is just going to take us through the general route rather quickly, and I'm not going to take too much time to explain a lot of the finer details. It's more of just getting you up to speed. So first of all, we want graphics, advanced options, VSync to be disabled when we start this run. Furthermore, the version of this route I'm doing, we will have no saves available. So no saved games. You can run with a pre-existing save, you just can't load a save you've made before the start of the run, but running with no saves is the way this tutorial is going to function. So we're going to do a new game. We want to be a male scoundrel. Female scoundrel is allowed. However, the visual cues that I'm going to be showing off in this run are going to be relying on the male character model. For attributes, we want to max out dexterity because we'll be using blasters on Terrace. Constitution needs to be decently high for survivability. Wisdom at 10 to avoid some stuns. Charisma at 10 for the Zerka poachers on Kashyyyk. Now, skills. We need enough security to get through the door on the Indar Spire, and bonus awareness is nice for the mine visual cues on Kashyyyk. Beats, we start with 2-weapon fighting. And for your name, you can name yourself whatever you want to be called. And yeah. Now we're going to go ahead and start this run off with a hard buffer. So the way I do this one is I just wait a moment and do a quick save, and then double click up at the corner to access load game. And now we are going to go ahead and buffer past Trask like this. So I'm hitting save with good space, and I use the 2 by default to select security on the door. That way this door gets open without this cutscene starting, and after we've matched through Trask's conversation. Now we're on to our first DLZ. So for this Rebel DLZ, I look at the 4th dot, and I kind of list a little bit to the left on there. Other visual cues are options as well. This is the one I prefer to use. Let's see if I can actually get it. I haven't warmed up much today. There we go. On that load screen, you want to AMG. And so now, after you've AMG'd on that load screen, you need to hit unpause, and then enter to cancel, and I double tapped the free look button. Double tapping free look allows me to control my main character and run while Carf's talking to me. So if we time this correctly, we should get to this footlocker right as we quick save. So what I did there is, at the end of the conversation, I angled my character like this. I quick saved and hit default action, which is R by default. This ends the conversation and opens the footlocker while it's fading in. And then you can just immediately get the items in here. We're going to be running to this computer, and this is going to be 2, 3. Hopefully that's not too loud. Alrighty, and just like that, we can run back here. Now, this trick right here, if you're a beginner, you can skip past this one, but if you want to save a few seconds, what we're going to do is when the load screen happens for the escape pod cutscene, we are going to AMG on it and use that to shorten the sleepy time cutscene by free looking during it. So I'll show you what that looks like. We're gonna trigger tap this, and what we're gonna do is I hit Alt F4 on the load in, and then I double tapped free look, and then I held down the quick save button, and that skips past that cutscene faster. Right, now we wake up here in the hideout on Terrace. And so for this one, I like to do 4, 3, 2, 5, 3. There's a different version of that conversation with more ones if you want to use it. Like, I think it's 11153. Anyways, what we do is the first thing in the hideout is re-enable VSync. And now we're going to hit this door. And I try to aim right around the small of the main character's back. That puts your mouse over OK, so I can go OK. And immediately we're going to quick save once and open the options menu. So that's going to buffer past the Sith Raid cutscene. Before I load the quick save, I'm going to go ahead and make a save in the new slot. So it's just down, enter, enter, enter. And then we can go ahead and load our quick save. As soon as that's happened, we're ready for the Skelly Flu. So to do a Skelly level, if you haven't done one before, it's a quick save AMG. So that's you quick save Alt F4 during the quick save. You open up the main character sheets, and if you hit enter, hitting enter will both select this cancel button, but if you hit enter in the character sheet, it'll attempt to level up if you can. So hitting enter will select both at the same time and bring us to this cursed level up where the UI is empty. So that's what we call a Skelly level. So we need to do Skelly levels all the way until we're level 16. So from this screen right here, you can AMG, escape, enter. AMG, escape, enter, enter. That's how the pattern you go with. It's just AMG, escape, hit enough enters to get back into the screen. And so you see, we're at 16 now. So from here, we can go back to the character sheet and just do an ordinary level up. So we save skills, feats, we want improved 2-weapon fighting, and just like that, once you're done leveling up, you can get out of here and you're going to run the main character to around here. Now, this is going to be our first dialogue queue of the run, so that's where you swap to a party member, queue a dialogue action on the main character, and then swap back to the main character and continue the run. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go tab, default action tab, like that. So now Karth is chasing the main character, and because he's chasing us, Lorene doesn't talk to us. Now we're going to do the item dupe. So I open this door with default action, and I select the equipment menu. So now for this menu, you might want to practice it a couple times. The moves that I do for it are tab, I hit the down arrow and the right arrow at the same time to take us over, and then I do enter up, and now you need to hit your menu swap buttons, which by default are Q and E. So I hit EQ just there. And so you see that they've popped off, and then we just do the same move again on the main character where we go tab, enter, up, EQ. And then finally to finish it, you go tab, and now what we want to do is go enter, escape, tab, escape. And just like that, you'll know it worked because the main character is left-handed now. And that will dupe the item. And if Karth followed you well enough, you should be ready to just head straight into the upper city. Now, as soon as you're in Upper City South, we're going to open the map and return to hideouts. So this is our first routine of the run. The way this one works is we do a quick save AMG. It needs to be a quick save because there needs to be a save in this module that we're routining from. We're going to open the options menu, and when we click exit game, you heard that sound. It's actually replaced the pop-up with the exit game pop-up. So now OK will take us to the main menu. So if we do OK and load game at the same time, we're on the main menu. We now want to go down once with the arrow key. So that means on the load screen behind this, we're selected on autosave. And on the main menu, we're selected on load game. So when we hit enter, we have this do you want to load? When we hit OK, this will load the autosave that was just made. I then, as soon as that load was finished, I quick loaded using F5 by default. So now we're on the load game screen again. So I could just cancel out of this. If I double tap a menu button, I now have control of my game again, such that I can quick save. And now, the way you get out of this is the game running in the background also needs to be taken to the main menu. So you can do options, up, enter, escape, and then this OK is going to be the exit game pop-up. And so now we're on the main menu for real, meaning that we can load this save without crashing. So what we've just done there is deleted the Upper City North, so that when we transit back, like magic, we're standing here outside of Zelka's office. Alright, moving on. For Zelka's office, you're going to want to move just past the corner of this table, and his compensation is 5. You can go ahead and sell everything you own. The stamina is not required anymore. I still like to do it, but you don't have to. And you need enough alacrities for the run. There's probably a specific number. You can check the guide if you want to know. I just kind of spam it because it's faster. Alright, in your inventory menu, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to usable items. The main character gets an alacrity. Karth gets the stamina and an alacrity, if you bought the stamina. Otherwise, just an alacrity. Now, we're going to go to graphics, and we're going to turn VSync back off. Sure. We want to be swapped to the Karth. Now we're going to do our next DLC. So this DLC is going to take us into the Upper City North. The line is right here at the edge of this dark spot on the floor where it meets the light. So the light portion of this panel is just going to be hidden slightly behind Karth's left leg, like so. Let's see if I actually get it really quick. Take me over there. Alright, so you see I'm kind of covering it up slightly with Karth's left leg. And just like that, we get it. You want to AMG on that load screen. And now we're going to open this door. And now what we're going to do is we're AMG'd, the door is open. You want to open your options menu and do cancel load game. So that way we are on this menu. Now if you hit your pause button, you get unpause and walk forward. By doing this, we get a new autosave, and if we load the old autosave, this is what's called an autosave hotshot. And so now we are over here in the Upper City North. Notice that if you haven't moved your mouse from doing that autosave hotshot, you'll still be on save game, and that's good because we need to make 2 new saves. So you just do that by hitting enter 6 times like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you have your saves. Next, we're going to be doing the Sith-based DLC with Karth. So for this one, I like to look at, here, I'm going to get a little closer. So if you see, there's this dark line right here where my mouse is, and then right to the right of it, there's this lighter line that might not show up on YouTube, but that's what I'm looking at. You can also look at other visual cues, such as how your GUI lines up, though that varies by resolution. Regardless, find a spot that works well for this. I'm going to be putting this very faint line between Karth's legs, like so. Come on. Now I need to get it in a timely manner. There we go. As soon as this loads in, you're going to run forward with Karth. I just did that by holding down the mouse buttons, left and right at the same time, runs forward. And we're going to immediately activate solo mode. Alright, I queue him on this door, and now, not everybody likes to do this. You could choose to leave VSync off. I find it easier if I re-enable VSync here. That is an optional strat, totally up to you. As soon as I do that, I'm going to swap to the main character, AMG, and walk through this door. This sets up a GP warp, such that when I click this button with Karth standing there, we get teleported to the elevator. So now we're going to run around to this elevator and AMG again. Notice that since Karth has the stamina, he's going to have some good survivability here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this door, cancel, quick save, quick load, like so. Cancel, quick save, quick load. Now I'm going to do a cool strat with the main character. Oops, I just hit the cheat menu there. But you'll notice I tabbed my main character over to the left one and selected the door, the elevator door, and he's running over there to go take a look at it. So that's going to save a bit of walking later on. So anyways, while the main character runs there, Karth is going to run to the footlocker, loot it, and then we're going to immediately swap to the main character, who should be at the elevator door. So, to recap just a little bit there, that little swag strat where I queued the main character in the elevator door, not required. I just find it to save a bit of time, where if I just do tab Q default action, he will kind of move into place a bit better. Not required. Regardless, you're going to swap to the main character and enter the Sith base. Now, if you have VSync off, or if you just want to get a really solid time, when you're entering this module, you should have AMG'd. If you don't get it, you just need to get an ordinary AMG here, either using a quick save or a quick load, whichever is easier for you. And we're going to do our first Neo hotshot. So the way Neo hotshots work is you need an AMG in the options menu here, and we're going to hit load game and cancel at the same time. Now we'll hit our options hotkey to open the options menu behind this menu. That's what I just did there. So now if we go down once, you're selected on save game. And if you hit enter and escape, now you have a save game menu pulled up. So you want to save over the destination that you're going to, like so, and then you want to load that slot you just saved. And just like that, you've hotshotted back to where you came from. In our case, we Neo hotshotted back to the Upper City North. So you will note that in the save route that this has now been replaced by Sith base, and we're going to be using this Sith base save to get back there later on. All right, now that we're here, if you hug this wall, Karth's conversation won't trigger. So that's handy. And if you decided to disable VSync, or sorry, enable VSync in the Sith base, you want to disable it here. Otherwise, you can go straight into this DLC. So you see that we're kind of past the first window, and there's this line right here. It's not as dark as these lines. It's a bit fainter. It's kind of a medium line. That is going to hide slightly behind the main character's right leg. Of course, since we're not wearing pants in this route, you might actually be able to see it a little bit. Whereas it would be totally obscured in the older route. But that's still kind of what you're going for here. So let's give that one a shot. There we go. So as soon as you get down here, you want to open the map and return to hideout. This is going to set a transit point. And you can immediately transit back if you don't move your mouse. Now we're going to turn solo mode on and swap the Karth. So Karth's going to run forward, and we're going to do another dialogue cue by tabbing to the main character, default action, and tabbing back. Like so. Tab or tab. And so now the main character is following Karth. And we're going to take Karth, and we're going to tuck him into the corner of this door over here. Take a nice 45-degree angle. Main character talks. Now, Karth's at a great spot. So you line up like this. Quick save, quick load, and AMG on that quick load. And that didn't work, so I'm going to try it again. If it doesn't work, you just give it another shot. It's a quick save, quick load. I think Karth is in a bad position. Of course, tutorial woes. Here, I'm going to turn more towards the door. See if that plays nice. There we go. So, what happened there is we DLZ'd into the Volker base by clipping the main character into the door with a quick save, quick load. So yeah, if you don't, you might need to re-angle a few times. If you're lucky, you'll get it on the first time. But as soon as you're in here, we want to get a quick save once, and now you are no longer allowed to quick save again. If you quick save, you'll mess up this strat. If you're worried about this, you can make a hard save here instead, which actually is a side effect of doing the Neo hotshot we're about to do. So. For this Neo hotshot, again, cancel load game. Options down, enter escape. We're going to select slot 1, which was the save we made in the south apartments right when we first got the terrace. So, we will Neo hotshot there. And now that we're back in the south apartments, we can transit back, which puts us right here at the front of the lower city again. So the first thing we're going to do getting back to the lower city is we're going to save in a new slot again and start running. So we have a hard save available in the lower city, as well as the Sif base, the upper city north, and the Volkar base. Alright, I like to put solo mode on there and cue the main character for this door, while Karth tries to get this DLC. So you'll see that there's this first swatch, and then the second floor tile here, these big metal tiles. In the center of this second metal tile is this little smudge right here. There's a VLZ line right here, and another one over here. So you just kind of want to move through there to try and get the spot. And I got it right away. Sometimes it won't always be that easy. When you get that DLZ, you want to try an AMG on the load end. If you miss it, it's gonna be tough because you can try and get it on the next load screen when we do this other DLZ. You don't want to quick save AMG because again, you don't want to overwrite the quick save in the Volker base. Anyway, this next DLZ. If you look along this little metal bar texture on the wall, there's this little nub right here, right above my mouse. It might be difficult to see on YouTube, but trust me, you'll be able to see it personally when you're running this game. So I'm going to make sure my monitor settings are set to where I can actually see this better. Yeah, so there's this little nub right here, and we want that to go exactly between Karth's boots. So I tend to put it between his boots and just kind of shimmy around on it. And I'm actually having a bit of trouble. Sometimes this DLZ can be tough. I think it's because I'm just not totally warmed up. Alright, don't move around that much. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. Whenever that load screen happens, you can hit your options hotkey to immediately open options before the fight with Gaddon starts. You want to do the Gaddon fight with VSync on. VSync off Gaddon is rough. Anyway. We're going to allow the conversation to start, and we're going to match through it with 1. And now before Gaddon gets a chance to turn around, you want to pause the game, queue up a pair of sniper shots, and a pair of power blast on him. And if you did everything right, Gaddon should die instantly. And as you see, he died instantly. So, if you didn't quick save at all, you can open the options menu, do cancel and load game to do our first quick save hotshot. Which way that's done is you just quick save, options, and then it's enter. And just like that, we've loaded back into this module. You want to double tap escape there to make sure you don't have a menu stuck in the middle of this cutscene. And we can just match through all of this. And it'll say Kutichani Mulira Shakturum Uni Baktona Wakachona Tise. Anyways, and we're off to the swoop races. So if you accidentally quick saved over that slot, you could have just loaded slot 1 to get back to the Volker base, make the quick save, and then load back to finish the hotshot. So that works too. Alright, getting to the swoop platform, you notice I did a quick save there, and we're immediately going to do a hard buffer. When this one loads in, you can go in an AMG on it. If not, you could just get an AMG after the fact. If you stand around here, you can talk to the Duros without walking around the table, and this conversation is just 1. So now let's do a swoop race. We want to keep the AMG up the whole time. try and start as soon as you can. So I mash to start my engine, and we are going to shift on boost pads 1, 3, and 9. And don't go into the last gear. There is a slightly better swoop race route that you can go for that can get even faster times than this, but it's much harder, so it's up to you if you want to try that or not. I mash this conversation with click, and as soon as Anglu is on screen, we're going to cancel, load save game, and load game. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to deal with this next cutscene. I just kind of do it the easy way, where I'm going to start this conversation, and I'm going to be mashing quick save during it to catch the Bratchet conversation on a buffer, and just hard load it, like so. Oh, I actually missed it. Let me do that again real quick. That's my bad. That's what I get for trying to do a tutorial. Anyway, let's try that. Also, I'm gonna set to the right spot. So yeah, mashing quick save and enter is how I like to do it. There we go. Caught it that time. So I just like to hard load this normally and do an AMG on the load end. So if we have this AMG here, what we can go ahead and do is Neo hotshot back to the Sith base because we need to go kill the governor. So cancel load game, options down, enter escape, and now governor's office will be second from the bottom. So I went up twice, and now you need to go up 3 times, and just like that, we are back into the governor's office. So now we're going to kill the governor using a method called wire targeting. So how that works is we are going to buffer past him until we're behind him in a sneak attack position, allow his conversation to start. When he's hostile, we are going to attack him with default action, quick load, and while the quick load is finishing loading, we're going to mash our default action a few times, which is going to allow us to attack him while he's non-hostile. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that looks. Open the door, start quick saving, I get behind him, mash through it, attack, quick load, matching default action, and you see I got a couple attacks there, and we're shooting him while he is neutral. And let's see. So I didn't actually get enough attacks to kill him. So if that happens, you can just take one of your guns off. And you'll shoot him again. And you can put it back on if you want to get another shot. There you go. Cool. You need to make sure you loot the governor. If you forget to loot him, you're going to kill your run. Now we need to get out of here. So you can just quick save AMG. And we're going to do a Neo hotshot to the lower city. So that's cancel load game. Options down, enter escape. And it's going to be the bottom slot. So you just hit up once, and then you hit up twice to get past the quick save. And just like that, we are back in the lower city, right outside of Javier's Cantina. So now for this one, we're going to run in here, and Candace's conversation is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So we are fine with whatever party deals it here. As soon as we hit OK, be ready to AMG. We AMG'd, we're gonna cancel, free look, and then hold down save, just like we did with the skate pod cutscene. We AMG again, unpause, and this conversation is 1, 1, cancel, save, load. So I know that was all pretty quick right there. So after we accepted our party in the cantina, we AMG'd, canceled the AMG on the cutscene there, free looked to skip past the standard dialogue, then mashed the quick save button to skip past it faster. We got a new load screen, we AMG'd on it, we unpaused to let the Avix conversation start, we did 1, 1, and then quick save, hesitated for a second, quick saved, quick loaded, and now we're here at the Ebonhawk. So we can just run for the Ebonhawk. Before we get there, we want to take off our gun and put on the Vibro Sword. This is going to be helpful for a bit of Kashik movement we do later. So here, we're going to go ahead and just do a map CS skip, a pretty old trick. So you'll notice my mouse was hanging out up here in the corner when I did that conversation, and I just clicked as soon as I saw the load screen. And this brought me to the map view, where I can return to Ebonhawk, which puts me on Dantooine. As soon as you get this Dantooine load, you want to run forward a bit with the main character. And we're going to go ahead and trigger the Candace to follow the main character, like so. There's a few different ways of doing this. Different people have different preferences of how they like to do their dialogue cues there. That's how I do it. Be sure to watch another runs that kind of get something you're comfortable with. Cool, we can open these doors with default action. And once I'm around here, I like the quick save, quick load. So that ends the dialogue queue. And we're going to go ahead and save in a new slot. And we are going to turn VSync off. And you'll notice that because we did that hard save, that on some architectures, the graphics here on Dantooine have given up on us. So a whole bunch of the textures aren't showing up. Luckily, the floor textures will always be visible, and we're going to be using that for our DLC. So, not this first tile, but this second tile, you'll see that slightly off to the right of center, there's these smudges here on the floor. It's really hard to describe this over video, but you'll be able to see them in your own game, and after a few trial and error, you can kind of see what are sticking between your feet on those. But I'm going to line up the middle of the main character's feet with these smudges, like so. And I kind of list a bit to the right. Alright, and now I actually have to get it. Or wait, is it these smudges? Now I'm second guessing myself. I think it's these. Yeah. There we go. Cool. So, when you do that, when you get that DLC, you're gonna Alt F4 on the load screen and immediately open the map to pop up replace return to Ebonhawk. Now we're gonna start running with the main character. When main character is past this smudge on the ground, you can swap the swap the Canderous and default action, like so. So Canderous is default action on the main character, and because of that, we can just walk past John and he won't accost us. We can do a similar thing with this Cathound cutscene. They're not gonna talk to us because Canderous is actively attempting to follow us. Don't get stuck on that piece of geometry there. There's a weird one-way road there. Alright, we can get past there. And now, these Cathounds usually aren't a problem, but sometimes they're in an unfortunate pattern, so you just want to make sure you don't get body blocked by them. There you go. It is also possible to die to those Cathounds, but that's only in extremely poor circumstances. Now we're going to hug the right wall here to not trigger a cutscene, and we're going to do a slight angle clip. So I'm just going to run against this wall, turn 90 degrees, and then return to Ebonhawk like this. Cool. Once we've done that, if we transit back, Canderous will be clipped behind the door. If you miss this, you could just set it up again and just use return to Ebonhawk and transit back to try again. Alright, Canderous, you want his head to be kind of around here-ish for this DLC. This one's pretty wide, so if you just kind of full send it, you'll usually get it fine. I say that, and I'm actually kind of struggling with it right now. Usually I would have had it by now. Hello? Canderous? Wow, there it goes. You want to swap to the main character and have your mouse ready around the small of his back so that it's on OK. So now, what we're going to do is I default action on here, and we are going to hard buffer into this room. I like to do a quick load here, an AMG on it, because VSync is off right now, which makes it kind of hard to get a proper AMG. One way or another, you want a functioning AMG for the store, and you can go and run into the corner here, and just like that. That's how you do that DLC. So you'll notice that as soon as we got the DLC, I canceled on the star map conversation, quick saved, quick loaded, and on that quick load, I AMG'd. By the way, if you struggle with that DLC, there are some other methods, such as the menu method, where you open up a menu and do it from the map screen instead. There are other videos on that if you're curious about those methods, if that one gives you trouble. Anyway, when we have this AMG and we've saved and loaded in the map cutscene, we can go ahead and do a Neo hotshot. So how that's going to work is it's cancel load game, options down, enter, escape, and we want to go back to the enclave. So that's up once, and then up twice, and just like that, we're back to the enclave. We're going to immediately quick save and quick load, and doing this will teleport Bastila to her clone, meaning that she's right at the council where she needs to be already. But before you chat with the council, you want to make sure you turn VSync back on. So, run Bastila kind of over here by Vandar, match this, swap back to the main character, and if you positioned well, you can default action on Vandar. If not, you might accidentally talk to one of these bozos, so be careful.
You have returned, young Padawan.
You can just match this conversation.
What it was that Revenant. Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you. Padawan, you have done well in discovering the star.
Match. Now, you want to save and load again. This will teleport Bastila back to her clone yet again. So, she's here with you, and that means she's close enough to transit back. So if we transit back, don't move your mouse, map, return to Ebonhawk. We are now here outside the Ebonhawk, and if you just run back and to the right, you will board the Ebonhawk. So now we need to make a couple saves. A quick save is important, and we also want to make a hard save in the bottom slot and a hard save in the top slot, all here on the Ebonhawk. So, because we're going to be teleporting back here very shortly. So now, it doesn't actually matter what planet you travel to this first time, as long as it's not the one you're currently on. So I just hit arrow over once to Tatooine. And we're going to do another map CS skip. So I'm going to hit enter to select the planet, and I'm going to be clicking where the map button would be. I kind of overshot, but you could just click over if you do. And what we're going to do is we're going to return to Ebonhawk and be ready to AMG. AMG'd. And so now we are back in the Dantooine Enclave, and we are just going to finish up with another quick save hotshot. So that's cancel load game, save, options, enter. Just like that, we're back to the Ebonhawk. Now we want to travel to Kashyyyk. So that is right twice to select Kashyyyk, and we're going to kind of set up the map CS skip again. Now, instead of returning to Ebonhawk, I'm going to hit enter, which opens party selection, get Bastila, and I want my mouse to be on the bottom half of this OK button, where I can go click, click to get to this menu. So now, when we get back here, we're going to want to do activate stim, tab, activate stim, to put alacrities on both main character and Bastila. So by default, that's 6 tab 6. If you've changed it, well, you know, use your hotkeys.
What can I do?
And so you heard both the stims activated. We both have the arrow right away. You want to turn solo mode on. Sometimes main character can be problematic and follow you. So if you want, you can double tab again. Bastila, you're going to run her up to around here, and you want to get her selected on the rear Zerka Merchant. You click that, turn around to main character, AMG, and you'll notice that the first time I tried double tapping a menu button to complete the AMG, it didn't work, so I just did it again, because that meant that Bastila hadn't gotten to the guy yet. As soon as you're able to double tap, that means Bastila stopped moving, so you can unpause and trigger the GP warp. And so now you're going to continue running with Bastila until she gets kind of into this lit up area at this corner. And then she's going to run backwards, and this conversation is 4. So, we set up a GP with Bastila, we ran her to the corner, we GP'd over, we ran her backwards, hit 4 on this conversation, this warps the main character here, and now we're going to enter the Great Walkway. We go inside, it's a single quick save, and then we're going to swap the Bastila. Bastila, we are going to AMG on this load zone, unpause, and we want to stick her in the corner behind this Zerka guard right here. So, options, this is going to be another quick save hotshot, so it's cancel load game. Save, options, enter, up, enter. Now, we want to escape out of here and do another AMG. This AMG is going to be used for our next GP warp, where on the main character, we're going to enter the Zerka landing part, cancel, swap, and click the option. Now, Bastila is at the elevator, which is going to take us down to the Upper Shadowlands. So, we get in here, we mash through it, and we want to AMG at the end of this load. When your mouse disappears, make sure you... you unpause, your mouse disappears, then you can cancel. I just quit the game because I did that in a weird order. Let me just set that up again real quick.
What?
Right, we GP,
Yes?
swap, run in here. Right, we AMG, unpause, and then it's cancel, and I double tap tab to start running with the main character. And you'll notice that whenever Paolo starts talking, we freeze. In order to keep moving, you have to spam flourish weapon, which is why we equipped the sword, because you can flourish with a sword. When you get far enough, you quick save, quick load, and then on the quick load you AMG again. This gets us a safe distance from these Bull Katarn, which can kill us, seeing as we are level 2 and naked. You're going to turn around and trigger Jolie's conversation, where you cancel and double tap free look, and you can start flourishing your weapon to move again. Once the main character gets to around here, you're safe to go ahead and quick save, quick load, and I like to immediately turn solo mode on. So, with solo mode active, we can start running with the main character. This tack's kind of in the way, but we'll trigger that rumble to get Bastila closer to Jolie. When Bastila closer up, you need to get past these Katarn without dying. We survived, which is nice. If you die, that's run over. Sorry. Now it's time to go deal with the Zerka. So here, it's going to be 1-4. And this guy's conversation will be 1, 1, 3, 1, 1. And we could just mash the sonic emitter, doesn't matter. This guy's conversation is also a masher. Oh, if you tip it again, just hit 2. Sonic device. Alright, so this one, you can mash through it, but you want to be ready to quick save, because there's a really stubborn cutscene after this one. Save, and I like to give this one a couple of saves, because otherwise you can be in trouble. And you'll go ahead and hard load that, and immediately swap the Bastila.
I'm here.
This conversation is 1, 3, and then you can just mash all the way to the end, add Bastila back. By adding Bastila, she will be over here and ready to run towards the elevator. There is an invisible mine right here. There's a 50% chance it will stun you. So if you aren't a gambling man, avoid it. Alright. You want to try and aim for a good line here. And we're going to approach this. There is another mine here, but it won't kill you. Force fields. It's 2, 2 is the way I like to do it. We're going to quick save right away. And then I like to, because it's easy to forget it, immediately make a new save in the lower Shadowlands. So make that save. And now we're going to load slot 2, which still should be Upper City North. This is our fast lane save. And we're going to do a fast lane now. We load it. While it's loading, you AMG, open the map. If you click return to hideout, it gets pop-up replaced, and you can go ahead and close the map and quick load. Don't quick save there, or else you'll be in trouble. So as soon as you get back here, you can hit OK right away, and you want to AMG on that load screen. If you miss the AMG on that load screen, you're going to have to redo the transit. Anyway, so we've AMG'd on that load screen, and so now we have, we're set up for a quick save hotshot, because your recall our quick save is still down on lower Shadowlands. So it's cancel load game, save, options, and up. And I like to go ahead and immediately quick save and set up our next fast lane. So you AMG, hideouts, map, load, and you're going to run her left and backwards and hope you don't get stuck on Jolie. Be ready to select OK and return to hideouts, and we're going to default action the computer. This conversation is 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. And then you hit OK. Now, we're going to do our next routine, where we do a quick save AMG, because the quick save needs to be on the landing pad. And now we're going to pop replace exit game, just like we did on Terrace. OK, load game, down, enter, enter. And now we want to quick load. And it's going to be cancel, double tap a menu. You'll hear the little click, and you can save, options, up, enter, escape. And now, if you hit OK, we're back to the main menu, and you can load the quick save. I like the AMG on this load in, so that I can immediately open the map, and then OK, load game, save, options up, up, save, options up, up, enter, enter is kind of what I'm meaning to say, not up, up. When we get here, Bastila will have a level up, so this is when you do the level up. Open your character sheet, enter, enter, arrow key to the right, enter, 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 double click versus speed, enter, enter. And now what we're going to do is we're going to immediately quick save and load our fast lane. So you AMG, return to hideout, and now we're going to do shift 4, 4, or whatever your force power hotkey is, to make sure that you cast burst of speed. We're going to run towards the star map, and we'll default action on it and hit OK. Let's do another routine. Quick save AMG, pop replace exit game, OK, load game, down, enter, enter, quick load, cancel, menu, save, options up, enter, escape, OK, OK, enter, enter. Oh, I was meant to AMG on that. That's fine. We can go ahead and transit back, like so, save, transit back, save, options, enter, enter. And now that we are here, I'm going to go and save one last time, set up our next fast lane. And we can go and load back, and you'll see Bastila's back in position with 4 speed, ready to get star map number 3. Cool. Now we're gonna, one more routine, quick save AMG, exit game, OK, load game, down, enter on load game, enter, quick load, cancel, double tap a menu, save, options up, enter, escape. Okay. And just hit enter through the quick save, like the AMG on that one. Transit back, okay, load game. Quick save, options, load the quick save. Quick save, options, load the quick save. And then finally, one more quick save to set up our last fast lane for Kashyyyk. And now we're going to go ahead and get the fourth and final star map. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So we'll default action on the star map, and now you want a default action on the computer before you return to hideout. Doing that warps the main character to the computer such that his last location in the module is there, which is going to help us for the hot shots we do on the Starforge. We can immediately board the Ebonhawk, and we want to reapply, since I closed the game, this should already be unusables if you didn't close the game. We're going to go and apply alacrity onto main character, like so, and he's moving and grooving. Alright, so for this next trick, if you're brave, you can do the AMG on the load screen. I'm going to AMG beforehand, just to be safe. We're going to go ahead and travel to the Starforge system, and we will cancel, free look, and hold down quick save. This will take us into here, where we can AMG again, and do another Neo hotshot. This is what one of the hard saves we made on the Ebonhawk is for. So you can go in and do cancel, options, down, enter, escape, down, so that you're highlighting your first Ebonhawk save. Enter up, enter, down, enter up, enter. And just like that, we're back on the Ebonhawk. And now this one you definitely want to AMG beforehand with a quick save, because if you miss the fighter encounter, you can mulligan this way. So, default action, travel. So you see we missed it. So we're going to go in and quick load, default action, and click again. Quick load. I think I might be in a cycle. There we go. When you finally do get the fighter encounter, you hit AMG a second time, or sorry, hit Alt F4 a second time, cancel, open the map, and return to Ebonhawk. This will put you here on Lahan, where you can immediately apply another alacrity and start running. Notice I'm applying those alacrities just by opening the inventory menu and hitting enter, and then hitting the inventory menu again. So it's just, by default, that's I enter I. I just kind of zip through it. Alright, we're going to walk through here and immediately hit, as soon as it loads, map, enter, and add Jolie, and then we're going to double click down here to return to Ebonhawk. If you don't move your mouse, you can immediately transit back. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disable VSync and run directly to the right. Cool, so I'll get out of the way for a second. This DLC, you'll see these two little cracks here. The right one needs to get centered on the main character's legs. This one's pretty easy, thankfully. Let's see if those are my famous last words. I am having a bit of trouble, aren't I? There we go. Now for this one, whenever we're in the temple, there's a couple different schools of thought on this one. I like to do it with Jolie because he doesn't have alacrity, so he's slower. So I tend to go tab, equipment, enter up, enter to take his robes off. You don't have to do that. You can find your own visual cue for this. This is the one I like to use. Anyways, Jolie needs to be on the, looking forward, the right side of the door. And I'm looking at, I don't think this will be possible to see on YouTube, but there's these smudges here that I'm putting between his legs that I'm looking at. Yeah, here they are. These two smudges right there. Not the greatest visual cue, though this one kind of sucks for that. Anyway, you will DLZ there. As soon as the DLZ is done, you can go ahead and turn VSync back on. AMG. And now, I like to cancel this one right away, because you can kind of move the main character around during the cutscene. And I position him kind of like around here-ish. Save, load. As soon as she starts talking, you can quick save. So yeah. And after the quick load, I immediately load fast lane and set up another fast lane. Doot, doot, doot. And what I'm going to do with this is we're going to start talking to Bastila again. And you want to be selected on OK. This conversation is all twos. And when the camera angle changes, you can hit enter to select OK. And now we're back to the beach. So once we get back to the beach, we can go ahead and quick save AMG. And we're going to run forward. As soon as the screen turns black, you want to open your options menu. So that's what I did. And now this is going to be another Neo hotshot back to the Ebonhawk. So it's cancel, options, down, enter, escape, up, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter. And we are back onto the Ebon Hawk, and you'll see Starforge is ready to go. Again, you could do this AMG on the load screen for the Starforge if you're brave. I'm doing it beforehand because I don't want to mess up this tutorial. Cool. This conversation, cancel, free look, and hold down quick save. Now it skips about 2.5 minutes of cutscene. Alright, we're on the Starforge, we're going to get running. Main character, I like to give him a Hyperjournal Alacrity. Also giving him stamina is not bad if you have the menuing for it. Another thing that's optional, but you can do it if you would like, is to auto-level him. Yeah, the Hyperjournal is the important part because it makes him move fast. Alright, we get to Starforge. It's a single save for this hard buffer. And we're going to go ahead and apply solo mode. So, I'm going to cue the main character on this door, so he starts running towards it. While he's running, I move Bastila back a bit. Sure. Take him back. Cue on the next door. We're going to AMG and enter this load zone so that we have a GP warp ready for the main character. And he never stopped running during that, so that's some micro for you. Now we're going to go in and open this door with default action. And now you don't get too close to the red guys. You want to select this door in default action. And that will make sure that he runs around them pretty quickly. When you're right around this spot, you can go ahead and do the GP warp. And now we're going to do what's called a double Neo hotshot. So I'm going to go and take us through that. We're going to AMG, and we're going to do an ordinary Neo hotshot. So cancel load game, options, down, enter, escape. Kashyyyk is in the bottom slot, so we can just go up once, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter. Now while this is loading, you AMG again, and that takes us into our next Neo hotshot, where you cancel load game, options, you have to hit it twice now because of the way the menus line up. Down, enter, escape, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter. And then you didn't need to do that AMG, that was me, muscle memory. Anyways, now Bastila is warped to us so we can go through the door. And we're going to be doing 3 of those total on the Starforge. Alright, solo mode. It's a regular old save buffer, just like you would do in any other situation. We want solo mode. Oh, sorry, I already turned solo mode on. We want solo mode on.
What can I do? That
was a mistake on my part. AMG from Bastila, and we set up the GP warp for the main character. Now, this GP spot is slightly after he gets past this angled corner here, like right here. This puts us at the other end, and we're going to do the double Neo again. AMG, options, down, enter, escape, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter, AMG, options, down, enter, escape, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter. And that menu can be done really fast. And just like that, we're ready to go on the command center. This is a 1 save hard buffer, and when you load it, you can go ahead and AMG on that load for our next double Neo hotshot. Options, down, enter, escape, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter, AMG, options, down, enter, escape, up, interrupt, enter, up, interrupt, enter. Now, if you swap to Bastila, Bastila is at the end of deck 3, ready to head into the factory. So we like to apply at least a Hyperjournal Alacrity on Bastila. Other things will only help you. Alright, cancel, and I'm holding the mouse button to run forward, and as soon as Dark Malik starts moving, we can quick save, quick load. So, yeah, while that conversation was going, I was running forward. We enter the factory, and I'm going to swap to Bastila and have her trigger Malik. So, triggering Malik is pretty straightforward. You enter here. This conversation will just be 2.
Well done, Revan. I was
2. So, the first thing I do with Bastila is I cue a grenade, and then I swap to the main character and run him over to the side. Then we'll do... Oops, if I get selected right. Let's see if I screw this up or not. Nades. Nades. Oh, main character died. If main character dies, then just focus on Bastila for all of this. She can handle Malik on his own. You have enough thermal detonators from Darkside Bastila to deal with Malik. If not, be ready to use Advanced Throw Lightsaber. Set an AMG at some point during this conversation. And once Malik goes non-hostile, what we're going to do is when you get to the first dialogue option, you'll hit enter, save, load. And just like that, you have beaten Kotor. And that is the current version of the Any Percent run. So yeah, I realized I did that rather quickly, and I didn't beat around the bush on a lot of it, but hopefully this is enough for you to go off of. If you want more detailed and in-depth information on this run, I'd recommend going to kotor-speedruns.github.io/kotor1, and there you'll find the route guides for Any Percent Unrestricted, as well as all of the all of the glitch guides for the very specific things we did during this. This sound is annoying me. Get out of here. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Hopefully this helps. Thanks so much for watching.